afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the Bloom's revised taxonomy of educational objectives. So here's the outline of our report. The original Bloom's taxonomy. We have here the 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Next is the revised taxonomy. We have here the 2 dimensions of the revised taxonomy. We also have here the practical guide to the revised taxonomy. And last but not the least is the ups and the revised taxonomy, or the synapse is strengthener. So we have here Benjamin Bloom, 1913 to 1999. Benjamin Samuel Bloom was an American educational psychologist who made contributions to the classification of educational objectives and to the theory of mastery learning. He was the Associate Director of the Board for Examination in the University of Chicago. They needed a new of classifying questions shared by faculty members to form a test bank. Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. We have here the backgrounder. When we say taxonomy, it is a hierarchical model that describes and sequencing procedures. In 1956, the Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, the Classification of Educational Goals Handbook 1, or the Cognitive Domain, was published. Benjamin Bloom developed the most prominent methods for categorizing differences in thinking skills. In 1964, Bloom and his colleagues published Handbook Number 2, the Affective Domain, in 1964.
All taxonomy. In 1956, the Taxonomy of Education Objectives, the Classification of Educational Goals Handbook, Cognitive Domain was published. The purpose was simply to have framework to classify test questions that faculty members shared and eventually become relevant and useful to education.
Okay, Bloom's taxonomy, we have 6 levels of thinking. The first one is knowledge. Yung knowledge is, ito na yung existing knowledge natin sa isang subject or yung information. Pangalawa naman is comprehension. Parang, ang example dito is parang sa may poem, di ba? Hindi naman natin maiintindihan or malalaman agad yung meaning kung hindi natin babasahin ng ilang beses. And ang pangatlo is application. Parang dito na is, parang yung mga natutunan natin dito sa school. Depende na lang sa'yo kung paano mo siya i-apply sa mga araw-araw na ginagawa natin. Tapos may analysis. Parang din sa ang example din dito is parang sa may poem din. Di ba sa poem is i-identify natin yung mga structure, mga figures of speech, Tapos, parang sa pinaka-final paragraph na is, doon na natin sila pagdudugtungin lahat. Sa may synthesis naman is, sa may research.
Yes. So, dun sa synthesis, diba, meron tayong tinatawag dun sa review of related literature and studies. Dun sa dulo niya, dapat magkaroon tayo ng synthesis or i-summarize natin yung mga sinabi natin doon. Yung mga aforementioned na sinabi natin. So, yun ang example ng synthesis. Isa-summarize natin siya.
Last is sa evaluation. Parang dito na is yung dito papasok yung parang magbe-base ka sa mga criteria tulad na lamang pag nag-pass yung student ng portfolio.
a new whole. Parang yung yung creation mo is babaguhin mo siya ng buo na parang maging creative siya in a way na mag-create ka ng kunyari project or portfolio. Hindi naman pwedeng ipapasa mo yun na luma. Siyempre gagawin mo yung bago para kaaya-ayang tignan. Remember. One is remember. Recognizing and recalling facts. Parang stock knowledge. For example, may quiz kayo. Siyempre, stock knowledge mo, parang i-recall mo lang yun sa mind kung ano yung na-study mo from past lesson. Understand. Understanding make the facts mean. Parang kung ano yung naanuhan mo na study, iintindihin mo yon para maging ka-totoo. Ka-totoo. Third is apply. Applying the facts, rules, concept, and ideas. Kung ano yung na-learn mo sa mga lesson nyo, i-apply mo yun mismo sa sarili mo para makapag-concept ka ng different ideas in the end. Then, fourth is the analyze. Breaking down information into component parts. Parang kung ano yung na-gain mong lesson, parang iiba-iba mo siya parang i-construct mo siya na by topic. Para in the end din, alam mo kung saan yung banda mo siya kukunin kapag kunyari magre-review ka. Then, evaluate. Judging the value of information or ideas. Parang dito naman, kung anong information na gain mo is parang i-judge mo yun kung tama ba or mali. Kung maganda ba siya na i-adapt ko sa sarili ko or hindi. Create. Combining parts to make a new whole. Parang yun yung sinabi ko kanina sa una. Nagkamali lang ng one.
So we have here the old version and the new version of the Bloom's taxonomy. So dito sa old version, kung makikita nyo, sa una is evaluation. And then dito na sa new version, we have creating. Doon naman sa old version, synthesis, and then evaluating, analysis, analyzing, application, applying, comprehension, and understanding, and we have here knowledge and remembering.
Yung pinagkaiba lang dito kasi sa dalawang to, yung old version is noun siya. So yung ginawa ni Bloom, ginawa niyang bago na new version para maging cognitive siya. Differences between old taxonomy and revised taxonomies. 1. The levels or categories of thinking in the old taxonomy were nouns. Yun yung kanina na dalawang old version at new version. While in the revised taxonomy, they are verbs. While the revised taxonomy remains to be hierarchical, level increasing complexity, it is intended to be more flexible, allowing the categories to develop. For example, the knowledge changed into remember. The comprehension was changed to understand. The synthesis was changed to create and was placed as a higher level. The cognitive domain now two dimensions. The cognitive dimension and the knowledge dimension. The knowledge dimension of the revised taxonomy was based on the subcategories of knowledge in the old taxonomy. Parang binago lang ni Bloom na maging cognitive para
The revised taxonomy with two dimensions. First, dito is yung cognitive domain. Second is knowledge domain.
Parang naulit lang. So dito sa cognitive dimension, we have here remembering, yung parang sinabi na discuss kanina, recalling relevant knowledge from long-term memory. for understanding, making sense of the material you have learned, applying, use the knowledge gained in new ways, and analyzing, breaking the concept into parts and understand how each part is related to one another, and evaluating, making judgments based on a set of guidelines. So dito na yung gumagamit kami ng criteria. And sa creating naman, putting information together in an innovation way. We have here the knowledge dimension, types of knowledge in revised Bloom's taxonomy. We have here the factual knowledge, knowledge of, we have here terminology, specific details, and elements. While sa conceptual knowledge naman, knowledge of classification and categories, principles and generalization, theories, models, and structures. Procedural knowledge, knowledge of subject-specific skills and algorithms, subject-specific techniques and methods, criteria for determining when to use appropriate procedures, and we have here the metacognitive knowledge, knowledge of strategic knowledge, knowledge about cognitive tasks, or the self-knowledge. Okay, so we have here the practical guide in using the revised taxonomy. When you are ready to plan your units, lessons, or activities, Bloom's taxonomy will be very helpful in helping you formulate your learning activities. We have here the cognitive dimension level. We have remember or the recalling information. So when we say remember, it is to recall facts and basic concepts. So what are the sample action verbs? We have your recall, name, list, state, tell, describe, locate, write, find, and underline. What are the suggested activities, outputs, and outcomes? We have here recitation, worksheets, definitions, fact chart, or list. So recitation. So we should let our students share their ideas or opinions. Next, understand or explaining information and concepts. So when we say understand, it is to construct meaning by interpreting and summarizing information. What are the sample action verbs? We are here: explain, translate, interpret, discuss, describe, define, report, and predict. What are the suggested activities, outputs, and outcomes? We have your story problems, drawing, show and tell, summary, paraphrasing. We English majors, we do this. We analyze story. We also have here paraphrasing and summary. Next is apply or using information in a new way. Apply is to use information in new situation. What are the sample action words? We have here use, solve, implement, construct, practice, execute, demonstrate, and dramatize. So we have here presentation, role-playing, simulation, collection, model, scrapbook, product of presentation. Like what we are doing, we are presenting, we are reporting. We also have here role-playing. Para like what we had last time, we had the drama presentation or costume parade that is under application. We also have here scrapbook. We can let our students make a scrapbook or portfolio. Doon nila i-compile yung mga activities nila. And we have here analyze, distinguishing different parts of a code or to draw connections among ideas. What are the sample action words? We have here compare, distinguish, investigate, infer, contrast, separate, differentiate, and sequence. What are the suggested activities, outputs or outcomes? We have your chart, plan, questionnaire, spreadsheet, summary, or survey. So we can let our students conduct a simple research or a simple survey. And next, we have here evaluate. When we say evaluate, it is defending a concept or idea or making judgments based on criteria and standards by checking and critiquing out. This is the time wherein we use criteria or the standard. What are the suggested activities? We have your chart, plan, questionnaire, spreadsheet, summary, or survey. Evaluate, defending a concept or idea. Sample action words: assess, debate, defend, dispute, judge, appraise, check, decide, justify, and rate. Opinion: what are the suggested activities, outputs, or outcomes? We have your opinion, judgment, recommendation, self-evaluation, position paper, or critical. The best example for this is yung tinatawag nating debate. Bibigyan natin yung mga students natin, grupo natin. For example, dalawang group. May dalawang conflicting ideas. Merong pro, merong con. Pros and cons. So yun ang, dun papasok yung tinatawag na evaluate. And we have here create, the last. What do you mean by create? It is means creating something new or to produce a new or original work. Dito natin makikita yung creativity and originality ng mga students natin sa paggawa ng kanilang mga projects or activities. So what are the sample action words? We have here change, design, formulate, improve, plan, propose, invent, devise, generate, compose, or combine. What are the suggested activities? We have your framework, model, story, multimedia presentation, haiku, song, and essay. So dito na makikita yung skills or yung talents ng ating mga students. So what are the uses of the revised taxonomy? The revised taxonomy provides a framework that helps educators or teachers in the following. Number one, it provides educators with a common set of terms and levels about learning outcomes that help in planning across subject matter and grade levels. And number two, it helps in drafting of learning standards across levels. So kapag nagawa tayo ng ating learning standards, dapat yung akma dun sa kanilang level. Next, it serves as a guide in evaluating the school's curriculum objectives, activities, and assessment. So itong revised taxonomy, it helps us educators para malaman natin kung effective ba yung school curriculum or yung mga yung objectives and activities and assessment. And last, it guides the teachers in formulating learning outcomes that tap higher order thinking skills. So dun sa paggawa ng ating learning objectives sa ating lesson plan, makakatulong ito yung revised taxonomy. Para sa ganon, yung gagawin nating learning objectives, like what I mentioned earlier, dapat naka-base sa kanilang level of thinking. So we have here the apps and the revised taxonomy or the synapse strengthener. We have here the Bloom's digital taxonomy for iPad. So dito yung for iPad. Sa creating, we have here Pages, iMovie, Showme, Edu Creations, Book Creator, and Story Creator. Dito pa tayo magsimula sa remembering. Sa remembering, we have here the Wonder List, Edu Clipper, what's this? 30 Hands Starter, the Seesaw, Evernote, Google Keep, and under understanding, we have here flashcards, Study Blue, OneNote, Padlet, iBrainstorm, and the Penultimate. Under applying, we have here OneNote, yes, and Ting Link, Google Docs, Pic Collage, Video, and Google Slides. Under evaluating, we have here Google Classroom. Alam naman natin yung Google Classroom kasi nung nag-pandemic, yan yung pinaka-ginagamit natin. We also have here the Voice Thread, Google Drive, Socrative, Nearpad, and Evernote. And we have here creating Pages, iMovie, Showme, Educreations, Book Creator, and Story Creator. So, dito naman siguro kahit isa may nagamit na tayo. Yung Google Classroom, ginagamit natin yun. Ano pa yung ginagamit nyo?
Google Docs.
Google Docs. Very good. Next. Dito naman, Android apps to support Bloom's Revised Taxonomy assembled by Cathy Schrapp.
Remembering, we have here the recalling, listing, bookmarking, searching, mind mapping, and last, WordPress.
The second one is the understanding. We have here categorizing, annotating, tweeting, blogging, subscribing, and explaining.
Sa applying naman, we have here the interviewing, simulating, demonstrating, presenting, editing, and illustrating. So yan yung mga ginagamit na app para to interview, to simulate, to demonstrate, to present, edit, and illustrate. So we have here analyzing, outlining, structuring, organizing, surveying, deconstructing, and mashing.
The fourth one is the fifth one is the evaluating. We have here moderating, conferencing, networking, posting, collaborating, and critiquing.
The last one is creating. We have here storytelling, video editing, video casting, mixing, animating, and lastly, podcasting.
So that's all. Thank you for listening. I hope that you have learned something from us.
Guys, may tanong po ba?
Do you have any questions, clarifications?
None.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you po.
Hoy, ikaw niya tang sabi. Ito pa na stop.